From the City of San Jose Parks and Recreation, one, Mr. Ed Solis.
Give it up for Ed.
Give it up for Ed, everybody.
I feel old. He's all, use the support. Thank you. It's good to see everyone today in celebration of my man, Joe Noonan. I didn't know Joe as well or as long as most of you, but Joe was an amazing part of what we did. If you look at the cutouts of Joe, he's got his Viva Joe Ed shirt. I live in Gilroy. I was in Gilroy at the line for the post office, and I got a phone call. And a friend of mine said, hey, this guy named Joe Noonan is amazing. You need to pick him up on your team. And I was like, okay, that's weird, but whoever he is, I'll give him a call. So I called Joe up. He met me at City Hall, and the first thing I thought about Joe was, this guy needs to be on a game show. Like, there's just no way anyone's this happy or just amazingly boisterous. And so right off the bat, I was like, yeah, no, I'll just talk to him for a little bit, then this guy's got to go. About an hour and a half later, I just realized that Joe was probably the most knowledgeable and heartfelt human being I've ever met in my life. And Joe was passionate about San Jose. I moved to San Jose in 2000 to get married to my wife, who I told her I'd never leave and she'd have to come to LA to marry me, and ding, here I am. And one of the things that I learned in the many, many years of working in San Jose is that San Jose is an amazing city, but it's a big city made of little cities. You have the Willow Glen, you got the east side, you got El Viso, hey, you got the south side. Nobody knows us. You have all these amazing places, and Willow Glen is just Willow Glen. Love you guys. But when Joe and I first started working together, we shared a cube, and Joe would always pepper me with questions. Do you remember when San Jose was, all about Del Monte? I'm like, no, Joe, I've only been here like 20. You keep asking me that. And so after being annoyed for about a month, I started listening to Joe. And Joe started to connect all of the amazing things that I never knew about San Jose from a native standpoint. And then I realized Joe wasn't putting on an act. That was Joe. Joe was always happy, always had a good word, was always positive, always constantly remind me how amazing our communities are. The thing that was missing in my professional career, that little bit of dark spot that I really didn't know, was downtown. I always worked in East San Jose, and I didn't know about all the amazing history, being the first capital of California, the people, the arts, the culture. And so as I got to know Joe more, I said, I'm going to show you more about East San Jose, and you're going to show me more about downtown. The more that I connected the dots, I realized this guy wasn't a talk show host. This was Joe. Joe loved CineQuest. He loved the Jazz Festival. Joe had been to everything. He knew everybody. And this guy taught me so much. I learned more from Joe Noonan in the 2 years that we worked together than I probably learned in my whole time with San Jose. Joe gave me a fresh perspective from somebody who wasn't a city employee, not somebody who came up through the system, but somebody who was outside but inside. I love Joe. Joe was an amazing human being, and we text all the time. He talked to me about his illness, and through all the times that I had tears in my eyes that I was texting Joe, Joe never felt sorry for himself. He never said anything but, don't worry, boss, I got this. We're gonna work through this. Like, he was so positive that it made me believe wholeheartedly that Joe was exactly who he was the first day I met him. A ray of light, an amazing soul, an amazing human being. I miss the dude. Joe's a great guy. I'd come in every morning and I did this. Joe, his name is Joe. Don't mess around because I'll step on your face. And he'd always be like, that doesn't rhyme. I'm like, you're right, brother. But every morning we laughed and we had our coffee. I miss you, dude. Joe Noonan, this is for you, brother. You're always here. You will always be part of San Jose. Thank you all. Love you, Joe. God bless.